Hello everyone, and welcome to a summary and opinion presentation on the latest video by Cofee Stain Studios. Jace has produced and edited the video of Oscar Jilsen. Apologies if I got that wrong, I played the video over and over trying to get it, I'm not sure, I hope I did.
Hi, I'm Oscar Jilsen.
Who is the game director of Satisfactory. He has offered some insight into what the game started as and what his job is, while revealing some more info on the game as well. The video is worth a watch definitely, especially since I will not be spoiling some fun moments in it, some gags and some references to influences. I will be only factual and analytical. Oscar started by saying that the game was born as a base defense concept that involved the player building everything, with obvious influences from Factorio. As time went on though, the combat part of the game waned and the factory part, as he puts it, grew larger. As such, combat is now relegated to environmental encounters when exploring or expanding your factory, as new sources of minerals or resources might just be on top of the enemy hive. One reason offered for the reduction of the base defense aspect of the game was, what would the experience be if you run out of electricity?
The electricity goes out and suddenly you're sure you have turrets, but they can't do anything.
Which he characterized in a very succinct three-word phrase.
Fucked anyway.
You are fucked. Players though might offer that the same experience exists in Factorio, and running out of energy is a real possibility one has to plan for, and as such adds to the game. I'm not one of these for your information, but there are many who believe Factorio is already too light on combat and might not be welcoming to less combat in Satisfactory. As for me, I'm ecstatic. But I was not as ecstatic when he also mentioned that combat is unavoidable.
But it is a part and you can't really avoid it.
You will have to fight to claim new territory and resources, so I am not as happy on that, but sure. Oscar also discussed that the lack of combat is balanced by the challenges offered to the player as well as the opportunities for automation. The example used was interesting. Ratios. Basically, to make reinforced steel plates, you will need 1.5 constructors working on making screws. He also said that the player could have one constructor or one constructor that is overclocked. Okay, let's just get a few things down. Constructors can be overclocked. What this entails we obviously do not know, whether that is an option in the constructor itself or it gets overclocked by inserting modules a la Factorio. The end result is that we have verified speed modification in the crafting speed of a constructor and at least enough of it to actually raise a 3:2 ratio to a 1:1 ratio. We also have a slight verification that we can use one constructor without overclocking it, but I think what he meant is that you can have one just wait for it and basically it's not going to be a very continuous running operation. So I'm gonna ignore that. Oscar finishes the topic by basically stating that this is done on purpose, by saying,
we want to find these places where we can make things a little bit off.
To that I would argue that people who are super excited for this game are people whose DNA is built to see ratios and understand them. People who know that the proper oil cracking ratio for advanced processing is 25:3:21 and that you can also use 8:1:7 at the start of the game, and they know this by heart and most importantly can get there with math in a very easy way.
But we also want to create challenges.
This is a challenge, sure, not easy, but one that the player base has been training for many years now. The 1.5 constructors of screws to one constructor for reinforced steel plate is basically green circuits. So on one hand, Oscar understands that the player base will be happy to find the new ratios and have a sense of accomplishment. On the other hand, and this is my personal opinion, this is not a challenge that will challenge, pardon the pun, the players that are excited for Satisfactory. I just hope and also maybe naively believe that this is not the only challenge we will have. Then we have the revealed confirmation of signs. Well, more of a confirmation, as Tiny Parrot did report in a video that one thing we saw in the reveal trailer is a beacon.
I asked about the glowy stick thing the player is holding at one point, and he revealed that that is a beacon.
Is the beacon and the sign two different entities? Well, it's possible, but I think not for the following reasons. Signs will be placed as confirmed by Simon by the player to basically say this is the iron place, or this is a construction space, or this is a whatever space.
The idea is that you can mark things, and it's like, here's the iron, here's the gold.
This reminds me of Subnautica's beacons, that basically are placed and then appear in your HUD. There were other stuff too that remind me of Subnautica, which I think is also a source of inspiration for Cofee Stain. Charts as the assumed capability to discover tech or blueprints in Satisfactory by roaming, just like you do in Subnautica. We also have the reveal and confirmation that we can color vehicles and structures freely. But that is all. No word on multiple colors, no word on color schemes or savable templates, no word on freely painting. What it did sound like though, and what I think I can semi-safely assume from his body language and hand movements,
Select whatever color you want and paint the buildings and vehicles.
is that we choose one color and that is applied. So the yellow track, for example, in the game is now blue. And that's it. Of course, that's also welcome. After these, there were not a lot of Satisfactory-based information or comments, and it was mostly about what being a game director is like. The video is definitely worth a watch, so please do visit it and see some funny moments and solid, but mostly honest depictions of office life and company values. This is all from me. Take care and keep safe.